Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jess and in today's video I'm going to be doing a reading style vlog. So this is going to be a lot more laid back and casual. Before we get into the video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I put out videos every Wednesday and Friday. Alright, let's go ahead and get started on the video. So don't mind me, I have 3 kids and I'm gonna keep looking down probably at the one who has decided to sit next to me on the floor. It's my littlest one. He's always around me, so if you see a blanket or little hands, it's just my child next to me. So in this video, I'm gonna be reading the book The Lincoln Highway by Amor Towles. This is a huge book. It's 576 pages long, and I've been trying to get through it for about 2 weeks now, and it's mostly because, not because of the length, but which does play a part in it, it's also because of the fact that the past 2 weeks I've been going through a few health issues. I was suffering for almost a week with a really bad headache. Some days were migraines, and now I have a couple of other personal health issues that are going on, and so it's been making it really difficult in order to read. And right now I'm on page 344, so I'm just a little over halfway through the book, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I really love this author's storytelling ability. This is the first time that I've read a book from him, and so far I really love it. I love his use of imagery and the way his words are just so lyrical, and the way that he just tells the story, a story within a story. It's just really beautifully written. So for me, sometimes it's okay that a book takes me longer to read, especially if I'm enjoying the process of reading it. So this book is about a guy named Emmett who gets released from jail after committing a crime, and he gets released a couple months early because his father had just passed away, and he becomes the heir or the sole caretaker for his little brother. And so the warden takes him home, and when he drops him off, Emmett learns that 2 of his friends from the prison have hitchhiked a ride. They escaped the prison and they jumped into the warden's trunk, and they hitchhiked all the way, over to Emmett's house. And so his 2 friends who escaped are really funny. Their names are Duchess and Wooly, and they are such fun characters, especially Duchess. So the book is told through several different perspectives. We have obviously Emmett. I would say he's the main protagonist of the story. His whole goal is to be able to provide for his little brother Billy, and he wants to go to a different state because their house had just been foreclosed on, and he wants to go to a different state and start over. His little brother Billy is determined to go to California because that's where he believes that their mother resides, because she abandoned them when they were little, and that's where she sent a bunch of postcards to them, and that's where the last one came from. Now, the 2 escapees, Duchess and Wooly, they want to go to New York in order to secure Wooly's inheritance, because right now it's in the trust of his sister's husband, and it's a lot of money, and they want to split it 3 ways between Emmett, Duchess, and Wooly. And basically Duchess and Wooly end up stealing Emmett's car from him and go to New York, which was not the plan. The plan from Emmett's point of view was to just drop Duchess and Wooly off at the train station and go their separate ways. But they steal Emmett's car, and then so now Emmett has to go get his car back. And that's kind of where I'm at in the story, is Emmett trying to find Duchess and Wooly and get his car back. And they meet several different characters along the way. There's a pastor that they meet, and this man named Ulysses, who is said to be this huge man who kind of takes a really kind interest in Billy and Emmett, mostly Billy because that's who he met first. So that's where I'm at in the book. I'm not at the point where Emmett and Duchess and Wooly have met back up again. Hopefully I'll be getting through, I want to read at least 100 to 150 pages today. We'll see how much I get through, but I'll definitely keep you guys posted. So I'm currently in the room that my two oldest boys shared together, and I was in my bedroom and I got through about 20 pages and I looked over and I saw the huge pile of laundry that I need to be sorted and put away. So I had to take a break and do that. And then I came into my son's room, and last night they told me that they cleaned it. And I came in here and it is so awful. And I don't know about you guys, but I get very distracted by things. So if, like I said, I was doing laundry and folding it and putting it away, and then when I came into my kids' room, I noticed how dirty it was, and so now I've just been spending the past like 5 to 10 minutes cleaning their room instead of what I'm supposed to be doing, which is reading my book. But I thought I would just share that update with you that I'm probably not going to be reading as much as I thought I would because I keep getting distracted by little things here and there. And I'm debating whether or not to show you the mess that is their room so you can be like, oh, yeah, you needed to pause to clean it. Because someone, I'm assuming this morning, got into a chip bag before I woke up and decided to open it all over their floor and eat, instead of waking me up to give them breakfast. So, and now there's also tiny little Legos everywhere that I'm trying to keep away from my youngest because he still will put them in his mouth sometimes. So hopefully once I'm done with this, I can go back to reading because maybe my mind will be a little more clear. All right, I'll see you in the next clip. So I just got to my doctor's office. I'm about 30 minutes early. Today I'm going to be seeing a chiropractor and an acupuncturist. I usually see them about twice a week for my back, and I have scoliosis, and I also have really bad neck pain, and it causes a lot of headaches and migraines. It travels through the back of my head and into the temporal lobe. So I see them, like I said, about twice a week, and so far it's been helping. Today I'm actually pain-free, so I'm a bit nervous to go in there because I don't want them to adjust me and then for me to be in pain, but it's obviously working, so I'm gonna keep doing it. So I got here, I like to leave my house early, so that way I can sit in my car and read for a bit before I go into my appointment. So of course I brought along my book with me, and I pretty much always bring a book with me wherever I go, even if there's the chance that I probably won't read it, like at the grocery store. I know I'm not gonna read my book while I'm grocery shopping, but I still bring it along anyway, just on the off chance that maybe I'll get some reading done. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit in the car and read, and then I'm thinking after my appointment I might be able to go sit at the lake for a little bit and read. It just kind of depends on the weather. Right now it doesn't look like it's gonna rain, but typically in Florida it rains at least once a day in the summer, usually around 5 o'clock. So we'll see. That's probably about the time I'm gonna get out of my appointment. And so maybe I'll drive to the lake and sit in front of the lake and read for a little bit, just because I really want to finish this book. I want to see what happens, and I haven't been able to read it too much at home. My kids are going through, I don't know, a crazy growth spurt maybe or something. One is in the throes of his terrible twos, so there's constant meltdowns for everything. And then my other one is a typical three-nager. He thinks he's the boss of the family right now, and if he doesn't get his way, he absolutely loses his mind. So And then my 7-year-old is home from school because it's summer break here, and he talks all day long. And so, obviously, during those moments I'm not able to read. So, well, excuse you, truck. So I'm not able to read, but so now I'm gonna sit quietly in my car and I'm going to try and get some reading done. So I just got out of my doctor's appointment and I'm here at my local lakefront park, and I'm just sitting in the car. It looks like it's gonna rain outside, so I think I'm just gonna read in the car by the lake and then have the view in front of me. That way, it's still nice. It's a bit hot outside too, so I don't know if I really want to go outside. It's kind of muggy, when that like sticky feeling before it rains. So there's some clouds rolling in. When I left the doctor's office, it was raining pretty hard. So yeah, I'm gonna sit here at the lakefront and I'm gonna read and hopefully get through a bunch of pages in the book. So the next update I have for you will probably be later on, maybe towards the end of the night, because it's already 5:30 here. So I'll probably pop back on once before I go to bed, let you guys know how far along I've been, or how far along I am in the book. And I keep being really, really amazed by the storytelling in this book. Like, every single character has their own well, of course they have their own story, but it's like, for example, you'll have this character named Duchess, and he's such an interesting character, and in his chapters he always tells these like wonderful, like almost overly romanticized stories about, actors and magicians and people that he meets. It's so interesting to read about. Maybe I'll just read, let me go back and find a really good paragraph in the Duchess story. So I'm gonna read an excerpt from the book just to describe what I'm talking about. So this is just a little blurb from one of the chapters where Duchess is talking, and he says, back in the 20s, Marcelin had been one of the most famous clowns in Europe, performing for sold-out runs in Paris and Berlin, complete with standing ovations and lines of women waiting at the backstage door. To be sure, Marcelin was no ordinary clown. He wasn't a guy who painted his face and tromped around in oversized shoes honking a horn. He was the real McCoy, a poet and a dancer, a man who observed the world closely and felt things deeply, like Chaplin and Keaton. One of his greatest bits was as a panhandler on a bustling city street. When the curtain came up, there he would be, navigating a crowd of metropolitans. With a little bow, he would try to get the attention of two men arguing over headlines by the newsstand. With a doff of his crooked hat, he would try to address a nanny whose mind was on the colicky baby in her care. Whether with a doff or a bow, everyone he tried to engage would go on about their business as if he weren't even there. Then, when Marcelin was about to approach a shy young woman with a downcast expression, a nearsighted scholar would bump into him, knocking his hat from his head. Off in pursuit of the hat, Marcelin would go. But each time he was about to grab it, a distracted pedestrian would send it skidding in the other direction. After making several attempts at retrieval, to his utter dismay, Marcelin would realize that a rotund police officer was about to step on the hat unawares. With no other choice, Marcelin would raise a hand in the air, snap his fingers, and everyone would be frozen in place. Everyone, that is, except Marcelin. Now the magic would happen. For a few minutes, Marcelin would glide about the stage, skating in between the immobile pedestrians with a delicate smile, as if he hadn't a care in the world. Then, taking a long-stemmed rose from the flower vendor, he would present it shyly to the downcast young woman. He would interject a point or two to the men who were arguing by the newsstand. He would make faces for the baby in the pram. He would laugh and comment on counsel, all without making a sound. But as Marcelin was about to make another circuit through the crowd, he would hear a delicate chiming. Stopping at center stage, he would reach into his shabby vest and remove a solid gold pocket watch. clearly a vestige from another time in his life. Popping the lid, he would regard the hour and realize with a doleful look that his little game had gone on long enough. Putting the watch away, he would carefully take his crooked hat from under his fat policeman's foot, which had been hovering in the air all this time, a feat of gymnastics in itself. Brushing it off, he would place it on his head, face the audience, snap his fingers, and all the activities of his fellow men would resume. So it's just such great storytelling. I mean, technically that little story, that blurb, it didn't have to go in as many details as it does, but the way he does it, it's not too many details. It's just enough to just give you such vivid imagery of what he's talking about. And it's like that throughout the whole entire book. And I mean, no wonder why it's so long. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep on reading, and I'll actually show you a little clip of where I'm reading at. So this is my view right now. I'm just sitting in my car, and there's some storm clouds headed behind me, so I can hear the birds chirping, and it's just a really, really lovely spot. So it's the end of the night here for me. I'm gonna be going to bed here very, very soon. Ignore my messy mom bun. It's been a long day, but a good day. I am on page 515. So I started off on page 344. So I did read this much today, and so a pretty good reading day. I'm almost done with the book. I'm in the final home stretch. I'll definitely finish it by tomorrow morning. I really wish that when I started this book, my library had sent an email a couple days ago stating that they weren't going to renew one of the books that I had borrowed from them, and normally they just do an automatic renewal, but I'm assuming someone had put this book on hold, and that's Lessons in Chemistry. I was going to read this one next, but it's due tomorrow, so unfortunately I'm going to have to return it if I want to avoid late fees. Plus, if it is on hold, I don't want to be that person that, you know, causes someone else to wait for a book that they've already been waiting for. So, but if, like I said, if I would have known that, I wish I would have read this one first and then did the Lincoln Highway, because this one I was able to automatically renew it, and so that sucks. But eventually I will pick up this one again, Lessons in Chemistry, and give it a read. But the middle of the book, The Lincoln Highway, it was good. It was full of different stories and everything, but now that it's getting to the end, I'm finding that it's picking up pace a lot more. I'm intrigued with where the story is going, and I can't wait to finish it and see how it ends. And I will be sure to let you guys know in my, what month are we in? July. My July wrap up, how I liked the book. I'm sure throughout the video you've already picked up the vibe of how I like it, but so be sure to check that out. And that's gonna do it for today's video, you guys. Thank you for reading with me and watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you're currently reading and if I should check it out. And I wish you a great day wherever you are, or a good night like I'm going to do. All right, so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.